Season's routines.
Ciao.
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 How you doing? You good? Good. How you doing? Well. How are you? Good. Hi everybody, welcome back. We'll start with the broadcast section that's got no embargo, followed by an embargoed section for 10:30 p.m. tonight. No live tweeting during the broadcast section, and if we can keep it to a maximum of 3 questions a person, that'd be great. Michael.
Thanks, Sam. Roberto, how are you?
Yeah, good.
You good? Good. Just tell us about the summer so far. So much has happened since May. So many big signings, players leaving. How happy are you?
It seems I'm here from 10 years, no? And 3 months, just 3 months. Very intense 3 months. But I think we can't forget what happened last season. Is a lesson, a big lesson for us, for every one of us. But anyway, we have to go in another page and to start another season, important season. We are building, I think, a new project. And now the big challenge, without talk too much about the target, the goal of this season, the first 2 targets we have very clear in ourselves is to find the soul of the team. The first target, and the second target to improve in our organization of of football, with the ball, without the ball. Our style has to be the key of our season, like our soul. These 2 characteristics I want to find as soon as possible.
Savinho, Enzo Maresca has just said here that he wanted to leave from day one. It is obviously very close here. After Savinho, how many more do you want? Any more bombers?
But it's not right to speak about the players until they are not official. Just to say, I'm very happy. We have not finished yet the transfer market. Is an important part, I think, because so far we have had a great sign, great players, great behavior and great spirit, great personality. But you know better than me, in Premier League you don't win the game with the names, with the big players. There are a lot of examples in the last years in Premier League. We have to deserve to win the game, and to deserve to win the game, we have to reach the height level in character, in passion, in value, and in the style of play as well.
You've also sold many players, Djed Spence and Christian Romero, your club captain. Can you tell us the new Tottenham Hotspur captain?
Yes, the new captain is Micky van de Ven, the second Pedro Porro, the third Ben Davies, the fourth James Maddison, and the fifth Archie Gray. Why 5 captains? Just because I want many captains inside of the pitch, and to be clear in the position. And every one of them they deserve to be a captain or in the group of the captains. But the personality, the passion is not if you have if you are captains or you are not captains.
Thank you. Good luck tomorrow.
Anita.
Hi. Yeah, good.
I know you said that you don't want to talk about a player until they're officially announced, referring to Savinho. From what we understand, he's been a long-standing target of the club for a while. So just how involved have you been with the transfer decisions so far this summer?
Yes, but transfer market, no, in Tottenham, in every club is not just for the coach, is not just for the sport director, is not just for the board. I think we are working very well with Johan Lange, with Vinay, with Nick, with all board involved in the transfer market. We have spoken a lot of time in this summer because is a connection. The most important part, not in the transfer market, but in football, in a club so big like Tottenham, so important like Tottenham, is the connection between the people inside of the club. And I think we are closing the first target we have, the targets we have in our plan. And from a long time, before I came in April, we already spoken about these targets of transfer market.
Team news for tomorrow for your first game of the season. Could you talk us through which players? You mentioned Micky van de Ven being your new captain. Will he be fitting that?
So Micky is not on the list tomorrow, like Pedro Porro. And the other players are all inside. Djed Maddison is inside. Dominic Solanke is inside. Udogie is inside, Mateus Fernandes is inside. Pape Sarr no, because he felt pain 2 days in hamstring or abductor, I think. Nothing important, but we don't take risk with him, especially in this moment.
And just finally, you mentioned those two components that you feel are key for you, that the organisation, the style of play, the soul. Is that what would be a successful season for you? Because you've now had a full pre-season, something that managers are always crying to have with a team.
Dice il fatto di avere queste due componenti, l'anima e dare un gioco alla squadra, hai avuto una pre-season, tempo per costruire.
Yes, I think we started last season to build something about the style of play, not too much, because was not the right time to work too much in the style, in the principle of with the ball, without the ball, but we started working in the soul. And the last 6 games with me, I think we showed that in a lot of time, even when we lost in Chelsea. And I think is the first point, most important part in football now.
Thank you. Best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Ian.
Hi, Roberto.
Hi.
We spoke a lot about transfers. It seems that the amount we have to pay players these days has gone so high. Every player, when you want to buy a player, it seems to be at least 60 or 70 or 80 million pounds. For a football man, do you think that's a bit crazy? We're going a bit crazy with how much money is being spent on players.
But I think Premier League is different league. It's different price, different competition in the transfer market. I don't know if it's right or not, but on the market, and I'm not speaking just in football, in general in the market, you can't say if it's right, fair or not. You can accept or not. And if you want to compete in Premier League now, you have to adapt. I think I heard too many times Tottenham money, but I love football from a long time, and I didn't see teams competing for the high level without spend money. Maybe if Tottenham spend money is a problem in Premier League, I don't know why, but the other teams, all other teams, they spent money in the past, also in this season. But for me, it's not a pressure, it's una considerazione,
Just
no?
a consideration.
You mentioned about learning from last season. If I learn from last season and maybe the season before, even maybe before that, fitness of players, keeping players available, being able to. I haven't seen Dejan Kulusevski in a Spurs shirt, I don't know, since colour television was invented. Or it seems like that anyway, so long. How are you going to keep your players fit this season, which is what seemingly has not happened here for
Come fai questa stagione a tenere tutti i giocatori in forma, visto che è stato un problema?
I don't know. I think another important part of this season is the medical staff, the physical staff is new for a big part of them. Big professionals, great people, very good in their jobs. I think is important. Is important also the management of the players. When the players have some problem, we have to stay calm, to don't take risk. We have Kulusevski, we have Odobert, we have Xavi Simons injuries. Now Kudus is almost ready, and there's a big points for us. But these three players are top players for us, and we're looking forward to watch them on the pitch.
And last one, you only play one game a week this season, no Europe, so you have one game every week like Manchester United did last season. Is that your target like United last season, to finish in the top 4 or top 5?
I don't know. I hope we have not one game per week, because we have Carabao and FA Cup, and for me we are competing for 3 competitions. Yes, the first season for sure is a big advantage, because we have time to work during the week. We can improve faster than the Champions League or Europe League in the middle of the week, for sure. But I would like compete every season in the European competition, because I think Tottenham deserves to stay in that competition.
Thank you and good luck.
Ali.
Speaking about Micky van der Ven earlier, obviously a big summer, signed a big new contract, but we haven't actually seen him yet playing any minutes, and I don't know if he's been training. I mean, what's the latest with him, with his...
Micky van der Ven non è stato capitano, ha avuto contatto, l'unica cosa che non abbiamo ancora visto sul campo, qual è la situazione?
No, today he worked with us, with the group. Is going very well. He suffered a problem after during the pre-season in Australia. I don't know the flight. I don't know something. Not a big problem, but not right to work. But we have Senesi, we have Ben Davis. And we are anyway in the right condition to play the game tomorrow and to try to find the result.
Djed Spence obviously has left in the summer. What are you going to do about that right back position? Are you going to buy a new right back? Or are you happy with
First of all, I'm really disappointed with Djed, because I love him. We have a great relationship. He's a very good guy. He's a very important player. But at the end, I have to respect. If he want to play 38 games, I can't give any word, any guarantee for the players, especially if we are building a big competition inside of the squad. Right back is, I think, in this moment maybe the best, maybe one of the 3 best right back in the world. In the left back we have Udogie, Robertson, and both are big level. And if you don't want to stay anymore in Tottenham, in a big club, you have to leave. Like Kuti, with Kuti, the same relationship. With then Spence, Vicario, for example. Vicario called me Thursday, not Wednesday, when he left, I'm sorry, but football is like this. I think if I spoke at the beginning of my press conference about the soul, to find the soul, every one of us, they have to stay here with the right spirit, proud to stay here, and with great ambitions, great motivation. Otherwise, it's tough. One season with me without motivation and without ambition become tough for everyone.
So do you need another right back?
But in this moment, I think no. We have Archie Gray. He preferred playing in the midfield position, but he can play very well also as a right back. I think we are good in. I don't want 25, 26 players. I want 21, 22 players. I think are enough, especially if these players or more players, they can adapt in more position on the pitch. And I think we have many players who can play in different positions. Gray, midfielder, right back. Gallagher, number 10 or number 8 is the same. Micky van de Ven or Ben Davies, left back. I think we are Kudus, winger or number 10. We have a lot of solutions.
Just very quick on Kulusevski, just wanted to ask, where is he at right now? Is he training?
He's working. No, he's working not with groups, but with the group, but with the individual coach. I am observing a lot him because first of all, he suffered too much, and as a human situation has been tough for him, no? And every one of us, we are close with him for this period. And then he's a different player. He's a special player. If he's fit, he's available. He's a different player, like Xavi Simons, no?
Okay, we'll end the broadcast section there and move on to the embargoed section.